Yes, I have. It was more of a just like visual, just kind of like hey, like chatting and like doing those gestures.
I went down to Chick Street in Austin. Random guys who were actually in cars at the time or like on the street just kept on trying to get me to like come over there, just get my attention. We walked a street over and then we're just standing there trying to figure out what to do next. And then like just people walking past us like grabbing my butt and someone's walking across the street.
I've been street harassed a few times. Probably the most memorable and scary of the times was that I was with my friend. I was wearing a costume. We were trying to go to a Halloween party, but we stopped by the square real quick to grab presents. And making our way around the square, there was this group of boys that started calling towards me and saying crude things. They kept following me, and I started feeling more in danger. So I told my friend we had to walk towards the courthouse because it was well lit. And so we started to, and they were still following us. So we found this group of women, and we asked them, hey, could we sit with you until they leave? And so we did.
I was basically just walking down the street, just doing me, and then these girls was like, hey, what's your name? You're fine.
I'm Allison Arnone. I live in New York, and sadly I am very familiar with the phenomenon that is street harassment and catcalling. My experience happened around a year ago, around this time, and I was leaving a date actually. I had to catch a train, and I was kind of aggressively walking knowing I had to make this train, and had headphones in, as most New Yorkers do, and realized that there was a person talking to me pretty close to me. It was a guy. So I took my headphones out, and he just said, can I talk to you for a second? And I was like, not really, I have a train to catch. And he was like, hey, I'm so-and-so, whatever his name was. Hi, I'm Allison, kept walking. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Do you want to get a drink? No, I'm good, I'm catching a train. And the conversation probably should have stopped there. I think most people could agree, but it didn't. This individual followed me for several blocks and was super aggressive. Come on, get a drink with me. And I pulled every, cliche excuse you could think of. I have a boyfriend. Who cares? I don't care about your boyfriend. Guy, honestly, I'm not interested. Goodbye. Well, if you weren't interested, you wouldn't be talking to me, is what he threw at me. And I remember feeling very much like it kind of perpetuated that sort of rape culture of, well, you want it, or it seemed like you wanted it kind of thing. And that's when I started to get really angry. So I basically had to aggressively say, not interested, please go away.
The first time it was like, oh, okay, like I look good, that's cool. But after a while, guys kind of seem to get a little more aggressive with it, and it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, kind of like you don't really have much power in that situation. Like, what can you say or what can you do to kind of like rebuttal something like that? So it kind of gets uncomfortable after a while. And I felt so uncomfortable, honestly, because he looked a lot older than I was.
It's one of those things of like, you wouldn't do it in broad daylight. Why at night does it suddenly become like okay for you just to walk by anyone at that time, just to grab their butt or any part of them?
It was pretty scary, but I was glad I was with my friend, and not like I don't think I would have been safe had I not been with a group of people.
I mean, at first, like, I was kind of like, okay, like, you can come up to me, personally and tell me that. Like, you don't got to do it in front of everybody, Like, I felt like kind of like, man, like, this is how women feel. But then I was like, well, me, I am pretty fine, so.
It feels very unwanted and unsolicited, and you also then have that dilemma that most women face, which is, I don't know how to react to this because I really want to tell you to screw off, but you don't know who you're dealing with, and that can be scary. You don't know what kind of reaction they're going to have to you saying that. And you also don't want to be nice either, because you shouldn't have to be nice.
Yes.
Yes, all the time. It kind of made me feel like, ew, that's disgusting. Like, why treat her like that? Like, you don't know her, you don't know what she's been through. Like, why would you treat her that way?
I haven't seen it like in person, but I've seen it through video, and honestly, it made me really angry just to see it happen.
Yes, but I mean, none that I knew like how to like help them. It's just kind of like, okay, like let me just walk about my day because it makes you feel uncomfortable.
I actually did just see an example while I was in the city on Friday. A young girl was walking, again, headphones, and a guy aggressively got in her face, and she took her headphones out, and he said, like, damn, you look good.
Definitely. It's like, I'm in a feminist class, it's women's studies, and the term I'm looking for whenever you find catcall, like whenever people sexually harass you, is hypermasculinity. It's like an assertness of dominance, and they're not doing it because they think you're pretty. They're doing it to make you feel smaller and make themselves feel like a man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I do. Like a mentally.
Obviously, I think catcalling and harassing somebody is like completely inappropriate, and under no circumstance should anybody do that to anybody, whether it's guy on girl, opposite, whatever the situation is. I think some types of approaches are all right, but it's the catcalling that's the problem.
I definitely think that street harassment and catcalling is definitely some sort of violence against women, and also does perpetuate a rape culture. So I think that it's definitely a phenomenon that is really, really scary for women, and it happens all too often, and it's really unfortunate that it's something we all have to deal with.